I'm joined by Unisa's Professor Paladi Sebate to discuss language in education. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, Professor, as I understand it, the current education system allows you to only write matric exams in English or Afrikaans. Am I correct?
You are not totally correct. You are not totally wrong in that while the other tongues are not used as languages of learning and teaching, they are written as matric subjects. Of course, English is used and dominates several domains. And the internalization of English is associated with science and the labor market. But while this is true to a certain extent, the problem comes about when other languages are no longer used to write and discuss other subjects. That is where the problem lies. Because non-mother tongue education in this regard serves as a barrier to learning. Because it's easy for the learner to be taught through the medium of the medium that she is or he is familiar. Now, learners fail in most cases in droves because they cannot relate it to certain concepts that are used in some of the subjects through foreign language. That is where the problem lies. Now, that's why in some classes, teachers resort to what we call multi-language teaching in order to clarify certain concepts that would be difficult for the learners. And my take is that learners cannot develop competencies in subjects if they do not understand, because the key word in this regard is understanding. You can only develop competencies and skills if you understand the content that you are taught. Now, many people are under the illusion that the use of English or Afrikaans as languages of learning or teaching equals relevant skills. But that is not the case, because one develops skills if one understands and can relate to the content that is taught. So I would say mother tongue actually would strengthen the skills and competencies of the learners.
Now, that is, of course, something that we want for South Africa. So how do we go about instilling mother tongue education in our schools?
I do think, let's say, for example, one thing, as you have truly indicated, children have the right to their own language, to their own culture. And we must fight a cultural hegemony if we are to succeed and insist that the children should be allowed to express themselves in their mother tongue. The teachers should recognize that it is imperative that the language that the learner brings into the school is not a wrong language, is a good language. That is, first of all, recognize the child's mother tongue. And when you recognize it, you will know that it is closely related to the loved ones, to the family, to the community in which the child lives. And in that regard, we will be promoting the personal identity of the child. Now, in most cases, to suggest that the language of the learner is wrong or ignorant is to suggest that the child should actually deny or reject his identity. Therefore, we need to version as far as possible the modules, the study materials into the different African languages. We can even use postcards in content subjects that are offered through the medium of English. And in so doing, we will be also strengthening learner support in the education of the children.
Professor Sebate, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.